Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to my channel. I am so happy that you are here for this video series. This is part 1 in this series of me reviewing the first interview that Taylor Nicholson and Terrell Rhodes, aka Demon Baby Killer, hashtag Demon BK, did with the news on May 7th, 2021 in regards to Taylor's 2.5-year-old son, Amari Nicholson. They reported Amari missing on Wednesday, May 5th, 2021. Now, I need you to pay close attention to everything that I'm telling you. I promise I will tell or show you something that you don't know yet. Also, remember, this is just about this first interview. So this is everything up to and around this interview. I will drop a major bomb throughout this review, so watch all the way till the end. Since I'm breaking this video up into shorter videos, I will title them Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Just as you see on the screen here, you see the number 1 in between Taylor and Demon BK. On Part 2, there'll be a number 2 in a different spot. Part 3 will be a number 3 in a different spot, okay? Make sure you watch each part in full from beginning to end and listen to every single thing that I'm telling you, because this is, I'm sharing all the information that I have learned, that I have seen, that I have found, everything. So I'm going to make your brain work really hard, and we will be doing a lot of logical thinking throughout this long-ass review. So buckle up. A little bit of background first, okay? Taylor and Terrell, aka Demon BK, didn't start dating until either November or December of 2020. I've heard both months, so I'm not 100% sure, but I know it was November or December. Okay, so they've only been together for approximately 5 to 6 months. It was around that same time frame that Taylor went to her mom, Carrie Howard, her mom's moms. Okay, so her mom is Carrie Howard, and Carrie's mom lives in Vegas. Carrie lives in Colorado. Taylor lives in Vegas. So Taylor had taken Amari over to Taylor's grandmother's house, to Carrie's mom's house, and left him. So Carrie's parents had Amari for a very long time, up until around November, December timeframe, when she just showed up one day at her grandparents' house without notice, without any heads up, to pick up Amari. Now, from what Carrie said, they don't really know a reason why. They don't know why she decided just to pop up that day and pick him up. Okay, but I can tell you what I believe to be her reasons. I believe that the biological father, Jyrgio Hayes, was pressuring her to be able to see Amari. And I think that Jyrgio and his family, his 4 sisters, might have even been threatening Taylor to take her to court for custody. I think that Taylor didn't want them to have custody of Amari. I think she wanted to keep Amari because I think that she wanted child support, in my opinion. Now, as I said, I don't know Taylor's reasons, but I believe that those are just some of the reasons. And we'll talk about that more as we go through this review. Okay, now before I get into all of these details, please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. Hit the all option when you ring-a-ding my bell, and also smack that thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that this video needs to be shared, and it gets it out there so more people can be aware of Amari Nicholson's case. Okay, so let's run through the factual timeline leading up to this first interview. Okay, on April 27th, 2021, that was a Tuesday, Taylor and Amari were supposed to fly out of Las Vegas, Nevada to Colorado to stay with Taylor's mom, Carrie Howard. Carrie had been attacked by a dog and had to have surgery since the bite was so bad and deep enough to reach her ligaments. Carrie bought Taylor and Amari's tickets online. And here you can see where she paid for both tickets, one for Taylor Nicholson and one for Amari Nicholson. They were supposed to depart Las Vegas at 5:10 p.m. on Tuesday, April 27th. They were supposed to arrive in Colorado at 8 p.m. Okay, but you can see here, Carrie said that Taylor asked her to change the flight, to postpone the flight. So the original flight was Tuesday, and you can see that right here, and she postponed it till Friday. When she was asked why it was postponed, Carrie responded back with, she wanted a few extra days. Now, why? Why would Taylor need a few extra days? We're going to get more into that. Okay. Then Carrie also said that she did have both tickets purchased. They were both around $60 a piece. And when she changed the flight out that date, it cost another $120 for both. So she said on Wednesday, her ticket cost almost $300. So I'm not for sure what this means on Wednesday, because her original flight was supposed to be Tuesday the 27th. Wednesday would have been April 28th. And she changed the flight to Friday, April 30th. Okay, so I don't know if she meant to say on Tuesday instead of on Wednesday. And I'm trying to find out right now, currently. Hopefully I will know before the end of this series, before I get finished with recording this series, I will know the exact date that Taylor asked Carrie to postpone the flight until Friday. Okay, so stay tuned for that information. So right now we just know Taylor asked Carrie to move the flight. So we're going to bookmark that in our mind, okay? And we'll get deeper into that later. So Carrie did move the flight to April 30th, which was a Friday, which obviously it cost her much more money here, you can see. So when Friday came, April 30th, and the plane landed in Colorado, Taylor got off the flight alone. Baby boy Amari was not with her. It seems that Taylor claims that she left Amari in Vegas with her king, Terrell. Now, Carrie wasn't too happy about this because she had already purchased Amari's plane ticket. So you can see here where Carrie is saying that that Taylor was supposed to be in Colorado for 5 weeks. That's why she bought 2 plane tickets, and she bought him a bed and a potty training chair so that he would have everything that he needed at her house while they were there for over a month. But instead, Taylor chose to leave her 2.5-year-old son in Vegas with her said-to-be pimp. Now, why did she leave Amari behind? That is one question that Taylor has yet to answer. So we're gonna add all of these pieces of this puzzle here together, and we're gonna see if we can't get a complete picture before the end of this series. And I have a pretty good idea why she chose to leave Amari behind. Is talking about Carrie being aware that her daughter has an OnlyFans website. If you're not aware what an OnlyFans website is, it is a racy adult content pay-to-view website. So Taylor was making money from her website for sharing pictures and videos of herself doing X-rated adult content. And then Carrie claims here, people are sending her pictures, which I'm sure she was very appreciative of that. And she said she is a prostitute and her boyfriend, and he is her boyfriend pimp. Okay, bookmark that. Now here's the screenshot of when they actually had their flight. It was on April 30th. Taylor left Las Vegas airport at 5:10 and landed in Colorado at 8 p.m. And you see, she had no carry-on bags. She had one checked bag, and Amari had nothing because he was not on the flight with his mommy. I also want to share this. This is a screenshot from one of Slim Hoffa's videos. If you are not subscribed to Slim, please go subscribe to her channel. She is amazing. Amazing. Okay, so we have information from Carrie, and I will show you that, where Taylor and Demon BK switched rooms at the Emerald Suites in Las Vegas. Okay, the Emerald Suites is a hotel, but it's a weekly hotel. So you can pay for your room by the week, so people live in the hotels like apartments. That's what Taylor and Demon BK were doing. They were living in this hotel. Okay, Taylor refers to this as the apartment, or the house even at one point. Okay, so they were in one room, but they requested to move rooms on Friday the 23rd of April. Okay, then Taylor flies out of Vegas to Colorado 1 week later, after she asked her mom to give her a few extra days. Okay, so she was supposed to fly out Tuesday the 27th, but instead she flew out the 30th. And here's the screenshot where Carrie said that they had just moved to that room Friday before she left. They were in another room prior to that. And when she was asked why, do you know why they moved rooms? She responded, the room had mold. Okay. I'm wondering how long they were in that first room before they realized that it had mold. That just kind of seems a little fishy. Okay. So, yeah. Just trying to give you all these little super snippets here, okay? Give you all the reasons why I believe what I believe, and I'm going to share with you what I believe soon. Okay. Now, the next thing that we were told in this timeline is on Friday, April 30th, Carrie stated that Taylor had a FaceTime call with Amari that night. Okay, so here on this screenshot, she was asked, is it true that you saw Amari on FaceTime the Friday before he went missing after your daughter arrived at your house in Colorado? And she said yes. Okay, we don't know any more details. We don't know if Carrie spoke to Amari herself, or if she just overheard Taylor talking to Amari, or if Taylor just told Carrie that she FaceTimed with Amari. So I'm trying to currently find out this information. I've asked a couple people, so I'm waiting for them to get back to me. Both of the people are in contact with Carrie, so I'm hoping that they will be able to ask her and then relay the screenshots back to me. Okay, so let's talk about a few different options here. Okay, first, FaceTime calls can be screen recorded. So Taylor could have just played an old recorded FaceTime call. If Carrie didn't even see the phone, Taylor could have just been playing a video of Amari on her phone. Or Taylor could have just told Carrie that she spoke to Amari on FaceTime. Maybe Taylor didn't really have a FaceTime call. But Friday, April 30th is the only time that Carrie says Taylor, quote unquote, spoke to Amari while she was at Carrie's house in Colorado. Okay, so let's move forward here. Okay, you'll hear Taylor say in this interview that she spoke to Amari's biological father, Jyrgio Hayes, on Monday, May 3rd, and they argued. We also heard Taylor and Demon BK had an argument, I believe, the same day. Now, we're going to hear during this interview that Taylor and Demon BK both discuss that during the argument that they had on May 3rd, Taylor told Demon BK someone was going to, quote, pull up. We also have more details that Taylor said later on where she meant someone would be by to get her things, but she doesn't mention Amari. And here you can see it noted in a news report that it says during the trip, Taylor and Terrell argued over telephone calls and through text messages, police wrote in Rhodes' arrest report. During a particular text argument on May 3rd, 2021, at approximately 3:35 a.m., Taylor indicated the relationship was over, and she told Terrell someone would be stopping by the apartment later in the day, apparently to collect her belongings. But not once did she mention, I'm breaking up with you while you have my child in your care, so I'm going to send somebody over to get my child. No. Nope. Carrie actually said on Facebook her parents begged to get him after we found out he wasn't coming. She refused to let him be with anyone but Terrell. Bookmark that in your minds also. Okay, so we'll skip forward to the early morning hours of Wednesday, May 5th. Taylor's sleeping when Demon BK calls her a few times. She wakes up to her phone ringing, and during this call, we are told Terrell asked Taylor if the bio dad's sister was supposed to come by to get Amari. And Taylor says during this interview that we're about to review that no. And she goes into panic mode and tells him no. Then she tells her mom, with no tears, that she has to get back to Vegas. Okay, right here, her mother said that's why she left. Okay, so somebody asked her, so she left because he called her and some lady came and got him. And was she crying when she told you? And Carrie said, yes, that's why she left. And no, she wasn't crying. She just found out that some strange woman just came to their hotel room and took off with her son when she's in a whole nother state and she has to get back to her home or to her town that she lives in, to the state that she lives in. And she stated herself that she went into panic mode. Okay, bookmark that because we're going to talk more about that soon too. Okay, and in this news report, you can see the Metropolitan Police Department dispatch records show that Nicholson called 911 from Colorado just before 7:05 a.m. on May 5th. Officers initially viewed the case as a civil matter over a possible child custody dispute and cleared the call, according to the arrest report. Taylor Nicholson returned to Las Vegas and reported her son kidnapped again. Dispatch records show that she called 911 for the second time at 3:10 p.m. on May 5th. Okay. So I believe that should be enough of the timeline to prepare you for this interview. Okay, but I want you to brace yourself. I'm going to call out some things as I see them. And you might not agree with everything that I say, and that's okay. I feel like I need to be true to myself and trust what I've been shown by my spirit guides and the divine universe. I'm also going to share my opinions and my perceptions, Legally, I have to say that everything that I say in this video, unless I state it as a fact, is all allegedly and in my own opinion. All the people that I talk about in this video are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So there's my disclaimer. Keep that in mind as I share with you all of my words during this first interview Taylor and Terrell did with the news on May 7th, just 2 days after they told the police a shit ton of lies. Okay, let's go ahead and start watching this interview now.
Taylor Nicholson, TaylerNichollson.
Okay.
And make sure that you wear earbuds because the sound sucks on this interview. The reporter did an excellent job asking questions, but the birds are heard more than the voices are, okay? It's very windy and the birds are very loud. So, and it seems that Taylor is speaking very quietly, which I have heard that is not at all how Taylor speaks on a normal basis, that she has a pretty foul mouth and she's pretty loud. So, she's putting on a show, in my opinion, throughout this interview. She's putting on a show. Okay, let's keep going. Done.
Terrell, Terrell, Rhodes.
How's his last name?
Rhodes,
Roll.
Rhodes.
Okay. You guys both live in Las Vegas? Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I guess just tell me your thoughts. You guys both live in Las Vegas? Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I guess just tell me your thoughts. I mean, this is 2 days now without your son. What's going through your mind?
We're devastated and hoping for the best of his safe return, and just saying our prayers and hoping that God's looking out for him and that he's not in any type of distress or danger. We just want our baby back as soon as possible in the best condition possible.
Let's go.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop it right there. We just want our baby back in the best condition possible. The best condition possible. And while she's talking, it seems that she almost has a smile on her face. Okay, but I'm really focused on that best condition possible. Now, if you honestly believe that the biological aunt of your child, who, I've seen her do news interviews since, and she seems like a very nice lady who has her shit together. So if this person really did abduct your child, that's the biological family of your son's father. So why would you say in the best condition possible? Okay, red flag right off the bat.
To the amount that the father's saying that his sister didn't come get him. And if that's really the case, then where's my son?
It seems to be, there's different stories floating around out there. Can you explain to me what you think happened?
Okay, so what I want to do in the first few minutes of this interview here is we're going to watch each section almost twice, okay? Because when the person that's talking, we automatically look at the person who's speaking, right? Okay, but it's so important that during this interview, we also look at the person's face that's not talking, okay? Because the look on the person's face that's not talking is almost more telling than the person who is speaking and the words that they're speaking and the faces that they're making while they're speaking. Okay, so I'm going to go back and we're we're just going to go back. And I'm going to keep popping up the screen here so I can see the time on the screen also, because that's how I've gone through to make sure that I don't miss anything. I've written down the timestamp of this video so that I can make sure I go back to the exact spot, so that I can stop at the exact spot, because there are so many things that I am going to point out to you during this review of this interview that by the time we get finished, you're going to have to literally scrape your jaw off of the floor, okay? There are so many things. And if I missed something that you noticed and I didn't say it, please leave it in the comment section, okay? Because I have watched this interview so many times I cannot even explain to you. And make sure, like I said, that you use earbuds, because that way you can actually hear the words that they're saying, because that is so important. Okay, so I went back, and now she's talking, so I want you to watch his face, okay?
And, just saying our prayers and hoping that God's looking out for him and that he's not in any type of distress or danger. We just want our baby back as soon as possible, in the best condition possible.
I'm just going to the amount that the father's saying that his sister didn't come get him. And if that's really the case, then where's my son?
I mean, it seems to be, yeah, I mean, there's stories floating around up there. I mean, can you explain to me what you think happened? Or
He had got a knock on the door at 6 in the morning from a lady representing herself as Jyrgio's sister. And then situation process, he's trying to call me to figure out what's going on. And I'm asleep in Colorado and I wasn't able to answer in time. So as he's packing a bag, she grabs the baby and runs out the apartment. And by the time he's able to try to go find where she went, she was nowhere to be seen.
But you think this was the father's sister?
Yes.
To my knowledge, yes.
And what's her name?
Jasmine Stovall.
Okay, so we're going to stop right here. Okay, did you notice when he asked what happened while she was in Colorado and Demon BK had Amari in his possession? What happened that morning? I was fully expecting the words to come out of his mouth, because he was the one that was there. This situation supposedly happened to him. She was in Colorado. She wasn't around him and her baby. But she's the one who spoke up. Almost like she knew the story better than he did. Almost like she wrote the story. Let's watch it again. Let's watch this part again. Let me make sure I go back one more time here. Okay, let's watch this one more time. And pay attention. Keep looking at both of their faces during this. I don't want to have to keep rewinding so we can watch both of their faces at separate times. But if you can stop and rewind it and watch it yourself that way, do it, because that is so important, okay? But try to keep looking at both of their faces. Don't get stuck on one, okay? Okay, so let's listen to her story again.
He had got a knock on the door at 6 in the morning from a lady representing herself as Jyrgio's sister. And then situation process, he's trying to call me to figure out what's going on. And I'm asleep in Colorado and I wasn't able to answer in time. So as he's packing a bag, she grabs the baby and runs out the apartment. And by the time he's able to try to go find where she went.
Okay, wait. I'm going to turn on the captioning, because I think that that's going to be easier. Okay. Because I think that it pretty much says everything that she said on the captioning. I think it missed a few things. It says music if it missed, like if the background noises were louder than their voices.
Can you explain to me what you think happened?
He had got a knock on the door at 6 in the morning from a lady representing herself as Jyrgio's sister. And then situation process, he's trying to call me to figure out what's going on. And I'm asleep in Colorado and I wasn't able to answer in time. So as he's packing a bag, she grabs the baby and runs out the apartment. And by the time he's able to try to go find where
she grabs the baby and she runs out the apartment. And by the time he's able to try to...
she went, she was nowhere to be seen.
She was nowhere to be seen.
Father's sister?
Yes.
To my knowledge, yes.
What is her name?
Jasmine Stovall.
Why would he come there?
I'm not sure. They knew the area where we lived, but they never knew the apartment, so they stalked us until they were able to find where the baby was.
Okay, I want you to look at the look on his face right there. Like, really look at it. Do you see how he's staring at something, but he's not really looking at it? This is a perfect example of the face that he makes through this entire interview. Right here, at this very moment, in my opinion, Demon Baby Killer is seeing the baby he killed. He's having flashbacks of Amari right when he realized that Amari was dead. He can't get that picture out of his mind, in my opinion. He keeps playing that moment over and over again in his head, in my opinion. Now, we know that this story, this kidnapping story, was complete bullshit because he confessed to murdering Amari. Okay, so that's what makes me believe even that much more. Looking at his face, it looks like he's replaying something in his mind. You know, when you stare off into outer space and you're thinking about something, you're looking at something, but you're not really looking at it. Your eyes are just focused on something. Okay, that's the look right here that he makes throughout this entire interview. I hope that he's having nightmares about this moment every night. His own bare hands caused the death of an innocent baby. All right, let's keep watching.
Why would she take him?
Because the dad wanted to be in the child's life.
He didn't want to see him getting raised by me and her. He wanted to be in his child's life with the rest of his kids.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, so I meant to say this too. If Taylor knew before she left for Colorado about Amari being deceased, which I believe that she did. I have a strong feeling that before she left on April 30th, that Amari was already deceased. If he wasn't deceased before she left Nevada, then I definitely believe that Taylor found out that he was deceased before they did this interview. Okay. But regardless, she still put innocent people's names on blast like this. That says even more about her, about who Taylor is. Okay. She named Jyrgio and one of his 3 or 4 sisters on TV. How would she know which sister supposedly came by if she wasn't there? And Demon Baby Killer had never seen any of the Bio family. It doesn't make sense. Now, also right here, when the reporter says why, why would she take Amari? They both shrug. And they both say that they're not sure. But wait. She has the answers. And so does he. So why did they both shrug to start off with? Because they're both lying. You shrug when you're telling a lie?
Jasmine Stovall.
Why would she come there?
I'm not sure. They knew the area where we lived, but they never knew the apartment, so they stalked us until they were able to find where the baby was.
Why would
And
she take them?
because the dad wanted to be in the child's
He
life.
didn't want to see him getting raised by me and her. He wanted to be in his child's life with the rest of his kids. Apparently, he has a house. He has a stable foundation with 4 other more children, and the only missing piece was Amari.
Okay, so she explains for us why and how. So why did they both shrug first, right? And say that they weren't sure if they have all the answers. Okay, the Bio family only knew the area that they lived in, but didn't know the apartment or hotel room at the weekly hotel that they were staying in. But the Bio family stalked them to find out what? So not only did she name them and call them kidnappers, but she's also accusing them of being stalkers too. Okay, so the Bio family is this awful family. They're horrible people. They stalk, they kidnap. Okay. But in the beginning, they both shrugged. They both said, I don't know. But then she says the Bio father wanted to be in his son's life. Well, she stuttered that out. Okay. And then Demon BK speaks out and said he didn't want to see him getting raised by me. Why is that? If the Bio dad has never even met this Demon BK, why would he not want Amari raised by him? Also, up to this point, neither one of them have said Amari's name. In fact, Taylor just said they stalked us till they were able to find where the baby was. Okay, we're going to go back just a little bit because I want to rewatch part of that, okay? Okay, right here.
Yes.
And what is her name?
Jasmine Stovall.
Why would she come there?
I'm not sure. They knew the area where we lived, but they never knew the apartment, so they stalked us until they were able to find where the baby was. And
You see him zone out right there? He's having that vision again. It's so telling. I'm telling you, it's so hard to watch it because whoever's talking is who you watch. But while she's speaking, you have to watch the faces that he's making. Like, his face tells the whole story.
because the dad wanted to be in the child's life.
He didn't want to see him getting raised by me and her. He wanted to be in his child's life with the rest of his kids. Apparently, he has a house. He has a stable foundation with 4 other more children, and the only missing piece was Amari.
I've always tried to be the cordial parent, as never not allowed him to see him or contact him. I just always told him, as long as you put in the...
He's zoned out right there. Okay, and up until this point, she's saying, I've always been the perfect mom. I've always been the cordial parent. It's all about me. I've always told him, as long as you put in the effort to be in the child's life and show you're trying to be the father, then you know that's fine. Okay, so we see Taylor's portraying herself to be the perfect cordial parent. Got it. Even though Taylor's own mom said that Demon Baby Killer was physically abusing Taylor and Amari. Okay. But Taylor's telling us how she's such a good mom. Okay. All right, let's keep watching this. I'm going to go back just a minute so that we can see, or just a few seconds here, just so that we can hear how great of a mom she is?
Her, he wanted to be in his child's life with the rest of his kids. Apparently, he has a house. He has a stable foundation with 4 other more children, and the only missing piece was Amari.
I've always tried to be the cordial parent, as never not allowed him to see him or contact him. I just always told him, as long as you put in the effort to be in the child's life and show that you're trying to be the father, then, that's fine. But he wasn't doing that. He wouldn't reach out, wouldn't call. It would always just be a message, and once in a blue moon. It was never consistent, never like he really wanted to do that. And then we had an argument on Monday, and then he did.
I hope you're watching his face. He keeps looking down at the ground and then up at the sky, like as if he's looking up to heaven. Okay. And she's starting to talk right here about how they had an argument on Monday. Okay. She's saying that she had an argument with Jyrgio, Amari's biological father, on Monday. And then he did this Wednesday, is what she's saying right here. Okay, but in the police report, the arrest affidavit, she said she got into a fight with Demon over here beside her on Monday. So she fought with both of them on Monday? Okay. But you see how he's staring down right here. He has his arms crossed. And in my opinion, he's replaying this action that he did in his own mind. I can see him standing just like this right after he beat Amari to death. Standing over Amari's deceased body. Trying to decide what to do next. All right, let's finish listening to this, oh my goodness, this mess. This mess. Now pay attention to the looks on his face while she's speaking, okay? I'm going to go back to right here. Okay, watch the look on his face while she's talking, okay? And you'll see him snap out of it. Like he's reliving what he did to Amari. And then he'll snap out of it to where he's actually listening to what Taylor is saying. And then he'll fall back into that blank stare again. And then he'll snap out of it again. He looks up to heaven. He looks back down at the ground. All while she's sitting here talking about the biological father, who's this awful person because he has a stable foundation and has 4 other kids that he takes care of. Okay.
Parent has never not allowed him to see him or contact him. I just always told him, as long as you put in the effort to be in the child's life and show that you're trying to be the father, then, that's fine. But he wasn't doing that. He wouldn't reach out, wouldn't call. It would always just be a message, and once in a blue moon. It was never consistent, never like he really wanted to do that. And then we had an argument on Monday, and then he did this on Wednesday.
So,
okay, so she's saying that she was this amazing mom who just wanted Jyrgio to step up and show that he wanted to be in Amari's life, but, quote, he wasn't doing that. But he would reach out. Okay. So I'm trying to follow her story here. Okay. All right. So he would just send messages once in a blue moon. They had the argument on Monday, which was May 3rd. Okay, so bookmark that. Taylor and biodad Jyrgio had the argument Monday. Then she accuses Jyrgio of doing, quote, that on Wednesday, May 5th. May 5th was when Amari was supposedly kidnapped at 6 a.m. by Jyrgio's sister, one of his sisters. Okay, so we're all on the same page, right? Like we're all on the same page so far, right? Okay, if you have any questions, stay tuned because I'll most likely answer them as we go. Okay.
Police talked to her, we called, they're denying everything. they've been searched and he's nowhere to be found, so we're just waiting till he shows up somewhere.
So she's saying that
Okay, so the Bio family has all been searched, and they do not have Amari. Okay, Taylor's words here tell me a lot. She said he's nowhere to be found, so we're just waiting so he shows up somewhere. That was her exact words. He's nowhere to be found, so we're just waiting. And on the captioning here, it said so, but I don't know if she said see. But she said he's nowhere to be found, so we're just waiting so he shows up somewhere. What? Now you tell me, does this sound like a mother who thinks that her child was kidnapped? I mean, honestly, deep down in your heart, does this sound like a mother whose child was kidnapped? Okay, let's keep going.
To her, we've called, they're denying everything. They've been searched and he's nowhere to be found, so we're just waiting till he shows up somewhere.
but she's saying that I didn't take him,
Yes.
right? So who you know who went there with him in the first place then?
What do you mean?
The hotel. Who went with Amari to the hotel?
What hotel?
Where they staying at the Emerald Suite?
Yeah.
Yes, that's where we live.
That's where you live.
Mm-hmm.
So
We live at the Emerald Suites, and nobody knew which apartment or whatever, so they stood outside watching to see where we were. And then that's when they realized, they finally saw Amari, saw him with him, and then that's when they came knocking on the door.
Okay, so this reporter is trying really hard to understand what she just said. He's confused because Taylor called their hotel room the apartment. Okay, so this guy is like, what happened again? But Taylor finally says her son's name. Finally. And she clarifies again that the Bio family stalked them to find out what hotel room, or apartment, as Taylor calls it, that they were staying in. Even though Taylor's mom, Carrie, said Taylor just moved to their current room on April 23rd. Remember, we already discussed that. Okay, she said that they moved from the old room to the new room due to mold. Okay, and again, thank you so much to Slim Hoffa for sharing that screenshot with the calendar. Okay. So now the Bio family stalked them to get the correct door to knock on at 6 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, May 5th. Got it. Okay. And she seems so sure of this, even though she has nothing to prove any of this as a fact, even though the police have already told her that the Bio family has been searched and they do not have Amari, she is still pushing this crazy-ass story. But remember what Taylor said. She knows the Bio family doesn't have Amari because the police said so. But they're just waiting until he shows up somewhere. Like maybe by McDonald's and the Seagull Suites? Maybe so. Okay. All right, so we're going to keep listening. Here we go.
He was left with Terrell.
And so, can you just explain what were you guys doing prior to
Here we go.
Before that occurred, we had just woke up. I had just fed him breakfast. And I was in the room on my phone at this time, laying down. He's in there playing with his toys, and all of a sudden there's a knock on the door. And it was a woman saying that she was her baby daddy's sister. Mm-hmm. And she said she was there to pick up my stepson.
Okay, now I'm sure that you were just watching Demon BK because he was the one that was talking here. Okay, so let's discuss his faces, his head jerks, and how he was thinking so hard that he could barely get all of these words out. Okay, let's watch it one more time. Let's go back to right here.
Explain what were you guys doing prior to
Right here.
what were you doing in the morning?
Before that occurred, we had just woke up. I had just fed him breakfast, and I was in the room on my phone at this time, laying down. He's in there playing with his toys, and all of a sudden there was a knock on the door, and it was a woman saying that she was her baby daddy's sister.
What? Okay, he shook his head no, as he said, quote, just fed him breakfast, end quote, which told me that he was lying right there. That was so painful to watch. To watch him try to get out that whole lie. His eyes were darting back and forth the entire time, which means lie. He kept making that funky ass face, like, I mean, really? Okay, but what was even more telling was the look on Taylor's face as he was telling this whopper of a lie. Let's go back just a few seconds here. And watch Taylor's face.
Just explain what were you guys doing prior to, or what were you doing in the morning?
Before
Right there, you see her look over at him? She's like, oh God, please get it right. Remember the script. Remember what I told you. Say exactly what I told you. Don't mess this up. Say it exactly how we planned. Don't mess this up. And keep watching it. And keep watching her face as he talks.
that occurred, we had just woke up. I had just fed him breakfast, and I was in the room on my phone at this time, laying down. He's in there playing with his toys, and all of a sudden there was a knock on the door, and it was a woman saying that she was her baby daddy's sister. And
Okay, now people have said that she looks like she's in fear of him. People have said that she looks like a battered spouse. You know, like somebody who is scared of their significant other. The look on her face right here is disgust, in my opinion. The look on her face right here is like, don't mess this up. What are you doing? Okay. I just cannot think that at this point right here, that she doesn't know that this is a lie, that she didn't partake in this lie, that she didn't come up with this lie herself. And I'm going to explain why I think that she came up with this lie herself very soon. Okay? But let's finish watching him get through this messy shit that he's trying to feed us here, that we know is a lie. Okay, we know for a fact that this kidnapping story, this entire kidnapping story is in fact a lie. Okay, we know that. Does she know that? What do you think? Do you think she knows that this is a lie? Do you think she wrote this lie herself to help try to cover her king, her master? I mean, the tattoo on the side of her neck right there, I don't know if you've been able to see it or not yet, but it said there's a crown right below her ear, and then under the crown, in cursive, it says Terrell. King Terrell. Because he was her king. He is her king. So the whole point of me doing this video, I need to let you know this too. Okay, so like I said, we know he confessed to murdering Amari. That video is already on my channel. Okay, but the whole point of me doing this video is for two reasons. One, to point out how I knew from the first time I watched this interview that this was a lie. And that I knew Demon BK was full of shit. Okay, you can hear what I said about this interview before the confession if you watch the video that I uploaded where it says the date and clip. I spoke about this interview in my live stream before he confessed to murder. And I said then, these two were liars. I clipped that out of my live stream and put it in a video by itself so that you didn't have to go back and watch the entire live stream. Okay, the second reason I'm going over this interview in depth like this is to decide if Taylor was really covering for Demon BK because she already knew that Amari was dead, or if she really didn't know. And I'm going to give you my honest, blunt opinions very soon. Okay? I am breaking this down. Like I said, I will be breaking this review down into multiple parts, probably 3. Okay? All right. Here we go. We're going to keep watching. Make sure that you are watching Taylor's face while he's trying to spit out these words, okay?
And she said she was there to pick up my stepson.
Did you know her? Did you know her?
I never seen any.
You see, she tried to butt in there. Like, she's trying so hard to help him. She wants to help him. She wants to say something. But this is his story to tell. She's already told it. Like, she's already put it fresh in his mind at the beginning of the interview. I think that's why she spoke up first. I think, in my opinion, that's why she told us the story of what happened, supposedly, first, because she needed to put it fresh in his mind again before they started speaking about it. Okay, so now the news guy is asking these questions, and she can see her man is squirming. Okay, when you're in a relationship with somebody, you learn about their movements, their faces that they make. You can tell when they're uncomfortable. You can tell when they're comfortable. You can tell when they're lying. You can tell when they're being honest with you. You can tell when they have compassion, when they're upset, when, everything, when they're worried, when they're concerned. You can tell those things just by looking at them or by the way that they're speaking. Okay, so I find it very hard to believe that this woman has been with this man for at least 5 months and she doesn't know that he's lying right now. Come on. Really? I'm not buying it. Okay, I'm going to skip back just a little bit because I cut it off and we need to hear what he's saying right now. But we need to watch her face as he's saying it.
Knock on the door. And it was a woman saying that she was her baby daddy's sister. Mm-hmm. And she said she was there to pick up my stepson.
Did you know her? Did you know her?
I never seen any sides of her baby daddy's family, so I never recognized them.
So then what happened?
So then I go to proceed to, okay, I'm going to pack him a bag up, pack some of his belongings up, and when that happens, I turn around to call her to tell her if this is this true? Was this really prearranged? And as I'm doing that, she says she don't need anything from my stepson. They got everything they need for him, and basically just took off.
So you gave...
Okay, first of all, when he hit the mic stand, her face was priceless. She knows he's not a good liar. She tried to jump in every chance she got, okay? But the reporter was asking the king for answers, not her. Okay, now, oh gosh, we're going to have to go back. We got to go back because I don't know if you were watching her face or if you were listening to his words or both, okay? But whichever you were doing, do the other, okay? So if you were listening to his words, watch her face. If you were watching her face, listen to his words, okay? And we'll talk about it here in just a second.
So then I go to proceed to, okay, I'm going to pack him a bag up, pack some of his belongings up, and when that happens, I turn around to call her to tell her if this is this true? Was this really prearranged? And as I'm doing that, she says she don't need anything from my stepson. They got everything they need for him, and basically just took off.
So you gave.
Okay, so wait, you what? He said, quote, I turn around to call her to tell her if this is, are this true? Was this really prearranged? And as I'm doing that, she said and does the side eye look, don't need anything for my stepson. They got everything they need for him, end quote. Okay, now when he first started the sentence, where he made absolutely zero sense, Taylor looks like she's about to vomit. Okay, by the time he got the second sentence out, she looked like she was ready to hit him in the back of his head. Okay, so let's ponder this for just a moment, okay? Let's say we believe she doesn't know her son is already dead, okay? When he says these two sentences, you don't even need to look at his face to tell that he is lying. I mean, who speaks like that? I turn around to call her to tell her if this is, are this true? Was this really prearranged? I mean, like, he was stuttering so hard and the looks on his face were just, like, I'm sorry, I couldn't help but to laugh because he's so ignorant. It's not a funny situation, but his ignorance is amusing to me. He really thinks that he's selling the story. And she knows he's not. I mean, look at the look on her face right now. She's like, man, that reporter didn't believe a word he just said. I mean, ugh. And like I said, everybody has a tell. Like, if I try to lie, I get red, I stutter, I fumble over my words. Not as bad as he did here, but I know that I'm a horrible liar because I don't like to lie. Lying makes me feel bad, and I know it's wrong. Okay, everybody has a tell about them. So, she can't, in all honesty, tell the world that she had no reason to believe that this man, like she tried to say in her second interview, which I will be uploading my review of that interview right after this one. I mean, anyone with no knowledge of this case can watch just these two sentences and see that this idiot is lying and he's guilty of something and he's trying horribly to cover something up. Okay, so we're going to go back just a little bit because I want you to hear that sentence one more time. And we're going to watch a larger section this time, okay? One more. Okay, here we go.
My sister. And she said she was there to pick up my stepson.
Did you know her?
I never seen any sides of her baby daddy family, so I never recognized him.
So then what happened?
So then I go to proceed to, okay, I'm gonna pack him a bag up, pack some of his belongings up, and when that happens, I turn around to call her to tell her if this are this true? Was this really prearranged? And as I'm doing that, she says she don't need anything from my stepson. They got everything they need for him, and basically just took off.
So you did she take him then at that point?
Yeah, after that, she basically said she got everything that she needs for him, and just left.
Now, but you didn't know her though, correct? You never seen her?
No.
So did you not know this person you were letting take Amari away?
I mean, from my knowledge, I already was told like someone was going to stop by, somebody was going to, but I never knew who. So I still had it in my head that somebody was coming by.
Who said somebody was going to come by?
Did you see her just look at him? She's like, damn it. Damn you. Okay. So who said somebody was going to come by?
That's what I was notified from my girlfriend prior to those days leading up.
So did you tell him that somebody was going to come out and get him?
I never said anybody was coming to get anybody. But I did say somebody would be by. So with that being planted in his head, he
That's what I took that as. That's what
took it as she was there for Amari.
So who do you think that?
Okay. So we can tell by Demon BK, where I stopped this part, he knows he just screwed all that up. I'd cover my face too. What a fool. So my assumption of this part of Taylor saying that somebody would be by was due to, I believe that she was telling him in a text, so she added it into this script that she wrote for them to go with to cover up the fact that he killed Amari. I can't wait until the end of this mess to be honest with you on what I think is going on here. Okay? I have to tell you now. Okay, so I'm going to lay out all these puzzle pieces in front of you, and you tell me if they all fit together and give you a picture, okay? Okay, so I believe that Amari was murdered before Taylor left for Colorado. Okay, I'm not for sure if moving rooms had something to do with it or not, but we know that they moved rooms on Friday, April 23rd. Okay, then we know that her original flight was supposed to be Tuesday, April 27th, but her mom, Carrie, said that she postponed it at Taylor's request until Friday, April 30th, because Taylor wanted a few extra days. I believe that that's why Carrie said here that her parents begged to get him after we found out he wasn't coming, and she refused to let him be with anybody but Terrell. That would make total sense if he was deceased. Okay, so already they moved hotel rooms on April 23rd. They were supposed to fly out, Taylor and Amari were supposed to fly out of Vegas to Colorado on Tuesday, the 27th. But she asked her mom to postpone it a few days because she needed a few more days. So Carrie moves it to April 30th. So Taylor gets on the flight on April 30th and flies to Colorado, but leaves Amari with Terrell, even though Carrie is already fully expecting him to come, so much that she paid money for his ticket and then paid more money to change the date of his ticket also. Bought him a bed and a potty chair. And then after Taylor gets to Carrie's parents want to go over to get Amari, and Taylor refused. Even though Amari had already spent several months with Carrie's parents, with Taylor's grandparents, until she came and picked him up in November or December-ish. And then when she received the phone call on the morning of Wednesday, May 5th, saying that somebody kidnapped her child, and she told her mom that she needed to get back to Vegas immediately, she wasn't even crying. And we haven't even gotten to that part in the interview yet, where she said she went into panic mode and what she did after that. Okay, because it doesn't match up with this. I can tell you that much. She's about to tell us that she went into panic mode. She screamed and cried and jumped in the car and drove flying 2.5 hours to the airport to get home. I believe that's why she could only pull off one fake FaceTime call with Amari on Friday, April 30th, when she got to Colorado. But she never spoke to him again the rest of the time that she was there with her mom. I believe that that's why she kept everyone. She tried to keep everyone from searching around the hotel and the McDonald's area, because she knew that Amari was already gone And she knew that Demon BK put Amari by the Seagull Suites and McDonald's. In my opinion, Taylor already knew that Demon BK had put her baby in the gravel area in a storm drain between a wall and the Seagull Suites building, in my opinion. Now I'm going to show you several screenshots here of conversations that she had with multiple people about where to search for Amari. Okay, so this was on May 8th. And this person says, so ma'am, you don't want us to search for your baby? What do you think is best right now? She said, nobody said I don't. TF means the F-bomb. I want to help people. I want to help. People been messaging me saying go to McDonald's, and that's inaccurate. He can be in San Diego, Reno, or Summerlin in Vegas. It's an ongoing investigation, so I can't discuss details, but he's somewhere close by Jyrgio's family. So she says, okay, so meet at McDonald's. What time? No, I was saying someone already had made a search party for him yesterday at McDonald's, and they were asking if I was going, and I told them they need to be looking in Summerlin. So they took it as I canceled it when all I was trying to do was move where people were meeting. So the person says, oh, damn. So did you contact the organizer of the search party? Maybe they didn't understand. Everyone is disturbed with you. She said, no, nobody would tell me who created it. Really? Okay. So the girl says, damn, I don't know. I just want to help. Babies are helpless. I'm disabled and don't give an F-bomb. Still willing to walk on my walker to help find your baby. This woman is disabled on a walker, and she's going to go out there and search for this woman's baby, even though this woman never went out and helped search for her own baby because she knew she didn't need to, because she knew exactly where the baby was, in my opinion. So the lady said, do you need any help yourself? Do you need to leave from where you're at? Are you in any danger yourself? She said, disturbed because they want to create their own stories. I can sit here and tell everyone everything. It's still ongoing investigation. We love the F-bomb out of my son. He is everything to us. If we knew where he was, he would have been home by now. But at this point, it's pointless to defend myself because it's about my baby, not me. And when everything comes to light that we didn't have anything to do with it, what's going to matter the most is that my baby is home safe. All I heard was blah, 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 blah. Okay. She said, if I get a group together, that's what it is, period. She said, no, I'm safe. We just want our baby back. Trying to do everything we can. We're trying to organize a search party now. My family wants to do a car wash to raise money for a reward. We're passing out flyers. We're trying. Did anybody ever see a car wash? Did anybody ever see any of Taylor's family out during any of the searches? If you did, please comment below and tell me. Please. So the lady said, so are you and your dude gonna be at the search party to help guide us all? She said, of course, we're putting one together. And then she sent 2 screenshots. She said, this is what I got from my bio dad, BD, after he spoke with Metro. And she said, okay, keep us posted so we can get more hands together. And Taylor says, I'm not crazy. I promise y'all. Okay, this is one of the numbers that sent her a message. Okay. The piggy's not going to help snitch ass bitch. He gone. Be better with us. He in Reno, San Diego, or is he here? Just know he good with his bloodline. Okay, that was sent at 4:54 p.m. on Wednesday. An hour later, at 5:55 p.m., I know it's hard to see because it's really blurry and really light, but an hour later, she responds back and says, "Where Amari?" And she got a message back that said, "This phone number is no longer in service." Okay, this is one of those numbers that anybody can make up. You can download text apps all day long and get a new number every single time, right? You can go to multiple different text apps and get multiple different numbers at one time, right? You can go on Google and get a Google phone number that you can call and text on, right? Okay, so then she gets another message that she sent the screenshot to the same person. And this one says, "LOL, y'all are not going to find him till we at court. Those piglets must be rookies because they should know that giving you the runaround and you're running into no brakes because you're not going to. We 10 steps ahead." I don't even know what the hell that means. Okay. But she never responded back to that one. And that one was done a few hours after the first one. Okay. Now, let's stop and think about these messages now that we know that the kidnapping story was all fabricated. Who do you think sent these two messages? Okay, so here's another message screenshot. Taylor said, "I believe that he got someone he knows hiding him, so I'm thinking he's got to be somewhere close to where his family stays." She is steady trying to get people away from that hotel, out of Vegas. Even though the police have already searched the Bio family's houses. The Bio family stated that they gave their Ring doorbell camera footage to the police. One of the sisters put up a $30,000 reward. The Bio family was so upfront and so transparent from the very first minute. So the person responds back and says somebody needs their ass whipped. Wow. For what? To get your attention? Oh, no. Okay, so I'm assuming that this is in response to, those texts that she received. She said, "I'll try my best to be there at 3. And Taylor says, "We're still organizing it. I'm going to make it a public event." And the lady says, "Okay, let me know. This whole situation isn't okay. Where's your baby? OMG." And she said, "Of course, thank you for your concern. We appreciate it a lot." She said off top. So then Taylor says, "Today at 1:30 at the TJ Maxx on Sahara and Halapai," I don't know how to say that. I'm going to mess that all up. "Searching the Summerlin area." So then the lady, and that was at 12:18. So they were supposed to meet at 1:30. Okay, the lady responds back at 3:13 and says, "Are you guys still there now? So do you want me to tell the other group, sorry, there's so much going on at once?" Taylor said, "We've been driving around. Nobody showed up. Did anybody see this as a public event on Facebook? I have not seen screenshots of this event that was the search party that was supposed to be on May 8th at 1:30 p.m. at the TJ Maxx on Sahara. I haven't, but I'm not on Facebook. So if you've seen it, if it really did happen, if she really did make it public, please email me the screenshot at spiritseekersquad@gmail.com. Thank you. Okay, so she said, "We've been driving around and nobody showed up." Okay, the lady responded back and said, "They're doing another one over by McDonald's close to Paradise and something." And Taylor said, "When?" She said, "Let me find out right now. Hold on." So she got the screenshot, sent it to her, found it. They're saying 4:30 as well. So they're doing one at 3 and at 4:30, I think is what she's saying there. And then at 5:19, are you guys there? At 5:19, 5:13? Oh, on May 8th, 5:19. Are you guys there? Okay, and then Monday, which this would have been the following Monday after May 8th, at 5:13 p.m., she said, "What are the updates on Amari, Miss Taylor? What's going on?" No response. Ma'am, no response. I mean, she's not even reading the messages. You see the check marks over here to the right? That means that she has not read the messages on any of these, okay? Okay, now this is another person that she spoke to. When is this and where and who organized it? If it's the McDonald's by where he was taken from, then it's pointless. He's in the Summerlin area, or Reno, or San Diego. We have an idea who took him, but it's an ongoing investigation, so can't disclose details. Okay. So here's another one. Are you having a group get together over there in Summerlin? Sorry, a friend messaged me that if I was going to help out searching, but at a McDonald's at 3 p.m. on Paradise and Twain. Taylor said, yes, we're trying to arrange a group. Haven't completed it just yet. The McDonald's search isn't going to help. He's not in that area. Oh no, okay, I'll let her know to go to Summerlin. Did you know where the meetup is at? And I'll let her know the location. She said, that was the last location, but he's not going to be there. My baby daddy, bio daddy, whatever, BD, family took him and has someone they know hiding him, so he gotta be close to them. Sahara and whatever that word is, area. So she tried really hard to keep people away from McDonald's. The search isn't going to help. It's pointless. It's pointless. Why would it be pointless to start back at location 1? Why would it be pointless to start searching for your missing child at the location where he was taken from? Why would that be pointless? Because, in my opinion, she already knew where he was. She did not want people to find him. So she was trying to detour people away from that area, in my opinion. There's so much evidence that I've seen with my own eyes that tells me that Taylor knew before she left for Colorado that demon baby killer beat her 2-year-old baby boy, her sweet baby boy, to death in their hotel room for wetting his pants, in my opinion. Taylor refused to answer why she left Amari with that demon in her second interview, instead of taking him on the flight that was already paid for by Carrie, even though she was supposed to stay in Colorado for 5 weeks with Carrie. This is Carrie and Amari right here. They were supposed to stay with her for 5 weeks. As she stated right here, she was going to be here 5 weeks. That's why I bought 2 plane tickets and him a bed and a kid potty for my house. This is Carrie's words right here. And this is also Carrie's words right here. The sister has been cleared by police. She went right to Bio Dad's family, pointing at them for it. But there was no woman seen at their room on camera. So why would she leave her baby behind? Because her pimp, her king, her master, her whole world had already killed him, in my opinion. Carrie has been very open with everyone about how she feels, to the point that her daughter stopped talking to her. She said that this was her last conversation and with Taylor, and she said that she will not help her in this. Okay, her last conversation was Carrie said any word from detectives, and Taylor said, so stop responding. I already effing know. This shit is disgusting. My baby is missing. No. And Carrie said, any leads? Taylor said, they ain't saying shit. We bout to be out trying to get a car. Carrie said, keep me posted, please. Then later, she said, any new info? And Taylor said, stop effing talking to these effing people. You want me effing dead? Is you serious? Okay, so this is what I was told. This is the real Taylor right here. Not this sweet little thing that we're seeing on this interview. This is how Taylor speaks on a regular basis. Stop effing talking to these effing people. You want me effing dead? Is you serious? Okay, that's how she speaks. That's Taylor. She's speaking to her mom like that. Okay. So they stopped talking on May 7th. Is that May 7th? That Saturday. Okay, Saturday was the 8th. Okay, so she had said that she thought the last time they spoke was May 7th until just a couple days ago. And more screenshots that I will show you later on in this evidence pile that I am trying to make sure I don't miss anything. I want you to be on the same page. Like I said, I have a whole file on my in my gallery that is nothing but pictures, screenshots, information. I've screenshotted documents, like everything that I have found, I'm trying to put in this one file so that I can make sure that I show you everything in that file in this review. Okay. So I just, they stopped talking on May 8th, it looks like. And it was May 16th when they spoke again. So Taylor's phone was supposedly stolen from a car in an impound lot. And we'll discuss that more later. But there's just so much evidence that tells me that Taylor is guilty of helping her king, her master, cover up this heinous crime, in my opinion. What do you guys think? What do you think now after seeing everything that I've just shown you? What is your opinion now? After just watching the first, 6 minutes of this 28-minute interview, what do you think so far? I may be able to do this video in 2 parts instead of 3 because I'm a lot further than what I thought. I think I'm gonna end this now and start part 2. And there's gonna be more truth bombs. I mean, this isn't it. Surprisingly, this is not everything. Okay? I mean, so far, I've told you a lot of my opinions, a majority of what I know. As I'm watching this ridiculous interview again, it's just sparking so many things. And I really want you to be on the same page as I am as we finish listening to this mess, because I want us to be able to talk about it, and I want us to all know the same information. Okay, so if you need to go back and rewatch, rewind, whatever, this first part, please do, because I will be uploading part 2 shortly after this part 1. And then I will be uploading the review that I do of Taylor's second interview that she did when she and her ex, Jaquez Knowles, walked out of the courthouse when Demon was supposed to go in front of a judge, but he didn't end up being there. I want to discuss the stuff that she said and that he said in that interview also. I really think that that's going to help us all get on the same page. And I really think that way we can have knowledgeable conversations about, do we think that Taylor was a part of this murder? Was she a part of covering up this murder? Or is she just this innocent, perfect mom that had no idea what was going on? Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm going to stop this now. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you ring that bell so that when I upload part 2, you will be notified. Hit the thumbs up, please. Let YouTube know that this video needs to be shared out. Everybody needs to see all of this information. This is the best that I can do as a timeline, as well as all of the information that I can put into one video. So until next video, thank you guys so much. I love you bunches.